that drink.
Down.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. 10 minutes later, the phone rings. It's my mom. Yeah, hi, Mom. She goes, hi, Matthew. Mom on speakerphone? I go, I can put you on speakerphone. Okay. Is Camilla there? Yeah, she's right. Hey, Miss McConaughey. Okay, can y'all both hear me? Yeah, we hear you, Mom. We hear you, Miss McConaughey. Okay. I would like to put some white out over that last. I was being selfish, thinking about myself. If you two are happy about it, I should be happy for you. It's not my place to be unhappy. So we had 2 children before we got married. But yeah, I mean, look, the big project, you know, as far as I can tell, the one that's non-negotiable. That's the thing. Can we find non-negotiable projects that we go, nope, when I'm lost and don't know what the hell I'm doing, or I'm looking for my North Star, what are some things in our life that we can look at and go, if I concentrate on that, I can't go wrong. Right. Sometimes that's just it. Like I still have it now. Maybe I don't know what new things I want to do. And when I'm kind of lost and wobbly, I'll try to look at the things that I go, like family, like fatherhood, like the marriage, and go, if you work on that, McConaughey, you can't bogey. Right. You may not eagle the hole, but you're not going to bogey. And you definitely ain't going to hit one out of bounds. You can't spend too much time on that in your spare time. And then that'll help you spiritually, heart and head. And so I try to go to the non-negotiables when I'm like, and then when things are going well, that's another thing. I love to accomplish it, man. I love to go work, and I'm going, all of a sudden I'm hitting the road. I'm all over the place. How do I keep my marriage and my fatherhood out of the debit section? Yeah. How do I, because I don't have the time, as much time. That's another challenge when things are going well, personally, to take care of those non-negotiables. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot, like, if I don't know what to do, I try and, like, it's always, like, help others, Like, that's the thing, like, that's probably been the thing that's been most helpful in my life. If I don't know what to do whenever, it's try and help others. Think of somebody else, call somebody else, see what they're doing, get out of myself.
Yeah, heard.
There's, like, that prayer, it's like, God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self and take away my difficulties so that, I don't remember the end of it.
Leave me of the bondage to myself. Leave me of it, off it.
Third step prayer it is. Yeah. Offer myself to thee to build with me and do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self that I may better do thy will. That's it.
There we go.
So it's just like, God, my problem is me right now. I'm just I'm sitting here. I'm breaking myself up and putting myself into a joint and smoking myself. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm just getting high on something here. Yeah. And it can be a low point or a high point though. Yeah. That's the thing. Sometimes I think it's like, I've thought it's just the lows, but it's like, even if I get too high on myself, it's like, that's not good either,
Well, it keeps our pursuit not about it's talking to the godliness within us, the more godlikeness in us that we can be, that a lot of us are striving to be. That pursuit is such a valuable pursuit, religious or not.
To have a connection to a creator, to not
that's
feel
higher.
Right.
That you're not going to reach, but you're going.
I mean, otherwise I would feel so homeless. If I don't want my soul to feel homeless,
There's a lot of people that feel very homeless.
Well, you talk about just like your own like times of faith and like how hard it's tough to keep that connection going, and to work on it more.
It takes maintenance, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes a lot of maintenance, man. That's probably my biggest.
That's where my ego will get out of control, where all of a sudden I take for granted that I didn't just pull it all off of my own.
Oh,
and I start thinking I did. And I do the math and go, I did. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like, ooh, here comes humble pie pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a tough thing. I mean, having a relationship with our creator and giving ourselves, like saying, God, giving thanks, getting a good perspective for ourselves. Has there been practices that you've used realistically over the years? I'm sure once you have a family and stuff like that, some of that starts to maybe get more built into you. But just because there's an actual component that's right there alive. Yeah. But have you noticed for yourself,
there's having kiddos is, in some ways, are how we become immortal. If we're fortunate enough for them to outlive us.
Yeah.
And if we're fortunate for them to have kids and pass on a lineage. It's like you first have a kid, you're like, I have helped create a being that is outside of myself, but my blood and so is in them.
Yeah.
It's a certain way to immortality. And I don't mean in the religious sense of, oh, if you live this way, you live forever because you get to the gates in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
But it is a mortal way of going. No, just kind of scientific, evolutionary wise, it's a way to become immortal. And I find there's a great power in that and a great freedom and responsibility that comes with that because you're shepherding your future self through your child or what you're for 18 years, so to speak, generally in the household before they go off into the world. So you're taking care of yourself.
Right, in a weird way.
By taking
like a chunk of yourself.
By taking care of it's our greatest children. I mean, it's the greatest export. And it is the most closest piece of art in the world that we'll ever put out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you and your family, do you have any traditions that really mean a lot to you guys that you have felt like have helped you establish more of a sense, like a familiar sense, like a team sense kind of?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's better than my family ever was on the actual rituals. I mean, my family's like, everyone come over for Thanksgiving, we're going, and it's like swing by the pit and get some food while you're doing it, and we're going to sit down? Well, not unless everybody wants to sit down. Yeah. My wife's more like, no, I'm setting the table.
Right.
And we're sitting down and doing this.
Yeah.
And we're going to say prayers before, and everyone's going to go around. That's one of the things we like to do. Call it around the horn. Everybody, before we share something out loud, something you're thankful for.
Yeah.
Share it up. And at very least out there, it at least makes the food taste better.
Yeah.
At least. But it also is a great conversation starter because you'll say things, and a lot of people don't like to share them out loud. And it'll start a conversation with somebody that you didn't know. Why did you say you're thankful for that thing? Oh, I didn't know your grandmother just got out of the hospital. Oh, I didn't know that you did good on that test last Tuesday, and you're thankful for that. And it's a great way to get a conversation started. We practice that. We are we have dinner each night. It's a small ritual, but in the busy worlds of today,
it's huge
to have that down, and everyone comes in, and you hear a little bit about the day, and it's kind of like the team gets together, and I was talking to my kids. We were talking to kids about it the other day. You know, I was like, look, talk about these bonfires we have. Our family, we're calling it a bonfire, not a campfire. Bonfire, boys and girls, let's go, man. It's a non-negotiable. We created it. We're on our way. We think we're doing all right. Let's keep putting log wood on this fire. But you three kiddos, you're responsible for going and chopping wood here too, and bringing the log back to the fire. It's not just me and your mama,
right? That
are doing that. It's talking about back to sports we were in the very beginning. It's a team effort here.
Yeah.
Y'all got to start adding that.
Yeah.
And have the confidence yourself that you do have a log to add to this fire.
Right. I think encouraging kids to think and feel like that, it's important, because kids don't know how to think and feel. I think there's like this understanding that people just know what feelings are and what's happening and like what their responsibility is as a brother or a son. It's like a lot of that stuff has to really be kind of instilled, I think.
I think you're right, because I'm guilty of giving the Cliff Notes version of things to my kids sometimes, where they're like, I think is like, well, duh, you understand that, you know what I mean? Like little things, man. Hey, how do you wipe your butt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's deodorant for? You know what I mean? Little things you're like, well, duh, and like, no,
if you're wiping your butt with deodorant, it's gonna burn.
How would I know?
Yeah.
You know, things you got to let them know.
There's that extra step a lot of times, and I think we think that kids are just adults in a way, like sometimes,
or they saw it somewhere, they picked it
up, that they already know.
Because that's the other thing. You do find out a lot of things that they did pick up that you didn't know they knew.
Right. And then you start to be like, oh, well, and you try to help them anyway, and they're like, I already know this. Yeah. So it's like, it's probably a little catch,
But there's a whole lot of things that, they don't know. You know, it's in our family, one of the things is, when are the kids ready for this type of movie?
Or
PG or an R or something. And what content is in there. I just don't want, there's some certain things in life about love, about violence, about all the ways of the world that I don't necessarily, I want my kids to get it from an outside piece of entertainment before they have a context of understanding it from me and their mother.
For sure.
Like, let them understand it first before seeing it for the first time. And their emotions are going all over the place for pleasure or pain, but they don't know what it all means.
Right.
Or does that happen? Well,
Sure.
So I want the context coming from their mom and dad first, so they can then see it and go, I understand that was however realistically that was done and how that affected me. But I understand the context of that scene I just saw. And that's why I try to hold back certain content,
Oh, I think it makes sense.
From the kids to have just an understanding of the reality, so you can at least appreciate it, but know that that's fiction.
Right. Yeah, you got to be a keeper. You got to be a keeper. You're running the kennel. When you're doing that. If I could go back in time, one thing I would start to do would be to start saving my money a little bit earlier, even if it was just a little at a time, just a little here, a little there, just give it a chance to grow. That's what Acorns does. Acorns is a smart way to give your money a chance to grow. Acorns is easy. You can sign up in minutes and start automatically investing your spare money, even if all you've got is spare change. That's what I love about Acorns. That's why I got my nieces set up on it, just to give them some understanding of how to save. Sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns. Plus, Acorns will boost your new account with a $20 bonus investment. Offer available at acorns.com/Theo. That's acorns.com/THEO to get your $20 bonus investment today. Terms and conditions apply. See acorns.com/terms for details. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provided incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Potential subject to various factors such as customers' accounts, age, and investment settings. Does not include Acorns fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorns portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Theo. It's game time, folks. The holidays are when entrepreneurs cash in. Seasonal drops, gift sets, pop-ups, all of it. And if you're running your business on Shopify, they keep everything going smoothly, so you actually get to enjoy the ride. They'll take your sales game to the next level for the holiday season. Some of the best holiday seasonal drops I've seen are those weighted blankets people were making. People were just tying weights to them, just putting concrete on the back of them, painting concrete on the back of them, leaving them, weighting down, and everybody wanted them. People were buying them out the yazoo. Shopify puts all your business in one spot. No chaos, no spreadsheets from the Stone Age. Just, hey, I can actually do this. Whether it's a side hustle, a full-on store, or you're shipping stuff halfway across the world, Shopify makes it way easier than trying to piece everything together